Hi there. In this video we'll be replacing and in a way upgrading the battery in my A4 B8 from 2010. So the battery has failed since I don't know, half a month, but I needed to do some tests on some power banks, so I kept it in. And I really want to replace it today because I don't want to damage the electronics of the car by keeping a bad battery in. And yeah, this one, the original battery was 95 amp hours, this one is 100. Original battery had 760 amp with the EN test, which is more strict than the CCA one. I put an 800 amp battery in, a Varta that's in the car now, and now I'm putting a 900 amp battery in. So this is quite a beefy battery. Yeah, it's flooded, so let me see if I can somehow do this. Yeah, you can hear the liquid in it, but the original one was also flooded in my particular car. So yeah, and it was an Excite, the original battery. The only problem is that I don't really have a BAM code on this battery. Most of them don't really come with BAM codes, so that's a stupid thing, whatever. And I cannot really find a BAM code for a 100 amp and 900 amp hour and 900 amp EN battery. So I think I'm going to use one from a 95 amp hour battery. Many say online that it does not really matter that much because the car's computer will anyway check some parameters and still properly charge the battery. Others say, nah, that's not really how it works, and you should be using the BAM code of the exact battery that you are putting in. But then again, if I understand correctly, the car is only accepting BAM codes that were pre-programmed in it. And batteries of this capacity and power in flooded form were not available when the car was built. So it's a lot of contradiction in the information that you can find online. The thing is, this was cheap, it's a good brand, it's not a gel type or AGM or whatever, simple flooded, like the first one that lasted, I don't know, 8 years or something like that, and my second one that was actually gel type, the Varta, lasted about 5 years. For me, that's good. If this one lasts at least 4 years, I don't know, it's plenty. This car is being driven mostly in the city, just taking daughters to and from school, so it's really short trips and really demanding on the battery. Somebody was saying online that a rule of thumb to see if the battery has lived its useful life back in the day on flooded batteries was to actually multiply this with about 50. So for this battery, for example, 5000 amp hours total current that went in and out of the battery, and our car, the A4 B8, can show that in its battery management module. If it's more than 5000, then yeah, the battery is kind of lived its life, and mine actually having 95 amp hour, I think the calculation goes around 4500 or something like that probably. Mine actually has 5600 and something used, so yeah. I just used the battery really intensively, going down and charging it back up, so it has lived its life. It did not get damaged because some coding was improper or anything else. It just wear and tear on the battery. So that's why I'm putting this thing in. A bit more capacity, a bit better in power for starting the car. Hopefully it will live at least as much as the previous Varta, which I think it's way more expensive than this one. Yeah, we'll see. So let me go to the car and start opening stuff and putting this in. Yeah, really professional filming the screen, but anyway, if I search on Excite website for my exact VIN and car, these are the options that it gives me. So you can see even 70 amp hour batteries. For start-stop vehicles, they are mandatory to be at least AGM, actually at least enhanced, I don't know, flooded battery or AGM, but I don't have a start-stop. So for me, I can go obviously to the premium one, and the minimum is 77 amp hour, but obviously I'm going to 100 and 900 CCA instead of 760 that had in the original battery. Forgot to mention, this is a battery that's quite a bit below 100 euros. So better options obviously are in the range of 200 euros. So I prefer to replace two of these in case I really need to, and the size of it. And we are at the car. Obviously, if you don't have this, for you it will be a bit different. I will link a video in the description where I actually add this spare wheel to the car. So, oh, and this was actually half open. Okay, interesting. It got itself a bit loose. So, let me just remove the wheel. Next step, obviously, get rid of this protection plastic. And I also added this one. So get rid of also that. Okay, getting ready. Open up this thing, and I will be disconnecting the negative, which you can see it goes here. This is completely tight. You can check on this if you do this procedure just to make sure nothing got loose. I'm not sure if this is correct, but I do prefer to remove the negative, because if I remove the negative, then everything gets de-energized and I cannot really short the positive to anything. Lift this cover. It has two of these pins that go in the holes in the battery. Most batteries have it, and I think here we have a simple 10mm nut. So remove this one first. And yes, this car has battery management. If you have this thingy and this thingy right here, it has battery management as far as I know. Let's undo this. Undo it enough so it gets out of the way, and remove this from here, and make sure again you get this one out of the way. You don't want it shorting on anything. And now you can also remove this little guy. Obviously you could have removed that one moved. You could have removed the brackets first. I don't know really why I decided to do it like this, but I did, and now I'm going this way. I don't think there's a proper and a wrong way. If it is, please tell us in the comments. Yeah, I think there is a proper way, because this was a bit hard to do with the brackets still in place. So let's remove these thingies. These are 13mm. Ooh, quite tight for this small ratchet. And yes, we have them also on this rear side. Screws out. We can now not like that. We can now lift this. At this point, obviously this cover snaps off. Get it out of position. Here it's locked in the two holes. And now remove the last screw. Removing this little fellow. And now remove the, I don't know, fumes hose. I think probably that's called, or it maybe has a different name, proper one. And this little guy is out now. In here it has a cover. Make sure your new battery has the cover on one side. And now I think we can actually lift this guy. Yeah, it's coming out, because at the back of it goes under this flap. And I'm not sure why I remembered I put a gel type in, because I think this is also flooded. Old one out, new one will be going in, and we are back to original equipment X-side. cleaned the area a tiny bit before I put the new battery in, but not perfectly because I don't plan on sleeping in here unless wife says so. Just want to mention, make sure you have the positive on the same side on the old and new battery, because it seems there are batteries that have the polarities reversed. Why would that be? I don't know, but yeah, anyway. Batteries in, aligned, so this with the middle hole, and there were some instructions in here, and now I have them here, and obviously 99% I fully ignored them like any real man would do, but feel free to read them right here. And I think there's a bit of English also right here, but how can I show you this better? Like this. So yeah, let me connect positive first and then only negative. So positive should be going in. You need to wiggle it around. If you have a flat head screwdriver, open this up a bit just to make sure it goes down all the way. And I think that's good. So now I can tighten this. Yeah, it will take a bit. Don't overdo it, don't damage the screw or something like that, don't break it. With something small like this, a ratchet, I think you are fine. Spread this one apart before putting it in, because otherwise you might create lots of sparks when you try to wiggle it in there. So spread it as much as possible pre-insertion. That sounded weird. And it's in, and now I can tighten it. And I didn't put any sort of grease on it because I consider these contacts were quite clean to start with, and I don't see any reason to put anything. This battery is in the trunk, completely protected. Again, just tighten it and make sure you don't break that screw by just over tightening. And this one also is as low as it will possibly go. And it's done, and I could hear electronics clicking, so everything started working in the car. Now I'm putting just this in here, and I need to tighten it so it will lock the battery in its position. So on one side we are under that metal flap, on the other side this is tight. Now let's put the wheel support in place. Actually no, the plastic cover on top, forgot about that one. So this thing goes in here and should align with these two holes, it spins. Then this thingy locks in like that under the new battery. And now I just need to put the cover right here. Some batteries come with something like this, but we are not using that one. We are using the original one from the car. Right in those holes, push it in, good to go. Now we need to search for the breather hole. Actually it's on the wrong side, so I need to remove the little cover and move it onto the other side into the hole. To remove this little guy, the only way to do it was with a knife, to get under it and start pulling it, and now probably I can do it with my hand and put it in this other hole. That also sounded weird. Anyway, and now the breather hose goes all the way in, and we are done in here, and this got unclipped in the process. Now it's clipped back in. Great. Actually decided to put a bit of tape on these breather holes because, as you can see, it's a bit whitish. It wasn't that bright of me to pull on it, being a 15 years old piece of plastic, so I don't really want it breaking. Yeah, that one is solved. Lowered this in place, and we need to put 4 screws in its holes. All screws tightened on both sides. Made sure that plastic was not under it because it tried to get there first time. And now I'm just going to put the foam all around. Back in position, now the plastic cover on top of it. Next step, the wheel, and then we tighten it. And we are done here. So now let's go and try to recode the new battery. Just put the contact, and this thing already says it's fully charged, and the other one was on 0% all the time almost. And I'm connected to OBDeleven. We don't want a scan, we want to go into modules. Yes, plenty of errors here because the battery was really weak. And I need to be in gateway. Then long coding. Long adaptation, sorry about that. Okay. And channel, I think it's 004. And it should be able to read. Yep, you can see this 95 amp hour, and this is data, and this is a Varta battery. So now here I can enter a new value. Let me go online and get a value. You know what I'm going to try and do? Insert exactly the same values apart from this. And it actually copied it. If you click on it, and I think it's TU3 for an Excite battery. I cannot again find the 100 amp hour battery with 900 amps starting current. So it's impossible to find the real BAM code for this particular battery, but it's the same type of battery as the one that was already in the car, and specifications, it's a bit above them. So even in my opinion, if it treats it like a weaker, I don't know, a 5% weaker battery, I don't think that's going to be damaging. Probably it would have been worse if it would treat it like a bigger battery, and it's actually not. I'm thinking, I'm guessing. So let me see. Or if I click on this, no, nothing. So let's smash this. So test was okay. Hold to right value. Did it write it? Yeah, it seems it did. So we have it here. Now let me see if I get back one channel. This takes a bit of time to read it, okay. And then we come here. Do we have the proper value now? It was still partially showing me the old code, so what I decided to do, something like this. Remove the contact, let it stay for a moment, and then put it back on, because I've had similar stuff happen in the past with different modifications. They were not really taking place until I was rebooting stuff. Hopefully it is rebooted, because it is popped up instantly. I'm a bit confused, because as you can see here, it's still writing the good value, but here I still see the old one. So what is what? Where is one stored and where is the other stored? This is actually the part number. This is manufacturer and this is serial number. So let's, instead of 19, let's put 20 in here. Let's get this down and see what happens. Okay, and it got accepted. Why this isn't changing, I have no freaking clue. But again, this is accepted and it's written here. So the system in theory should know it has a new battery. Yes, it doesn't know it's a 100 amp hour, it knows it's a 95. I don't really care about that. Yeah, really weird. Anyway, with the VCDA's interface, this was a bit easier to do because I could see a bit better, a bit of the info and what's getting changed and what not. So I have no clue why this is not getting changed, but this is. So anyway, that's about it. Nothing more that I can really do. Just go into rest of the systems and basically reset the errors, because most of them are related to low battery. So now battery management can treat it as a new battery. So I'm going to give it a scan and save the log and then reset everything. Meanwhile, this little guy, video in the description, can go safely in the trunk and hopefully not be needed for a good while. But it's good to know that I have something that can start the car no matter what. Let's just say most of the errors sound like this. Supply voltage too low for basically everything. Okay. Yeah, nice. Let's reset them. And let's see how this starts now with a new battery. Like you'd expect, absolutely normally. So yeah, it's been fun. I have no idea if the coding is actually correct. That happens when you buy a battery without a BAM code, because they sure as hell want you to go to the dealership. And yeah, we are in CAN Gateway live data on channel 19, and we can see here battery aging is 100, which basically means brand new battery, smaller values, worse condition, and battery aging 105. That's a bit weird, but whatever. These are the values. This is what it's available in the battery now. I think that's absolutely normal. It was not fully charged. Here I'm not sure what we need to see or not. Oh, this is weird. This is decreasing. Okay, I think this is actually decreasing while using the battery, or is it? Total energy 3 amp. Yeah, no, I don't care about that one. This one, I think this is from when the car was actually, it's increasing. It's since the car was actually built, this one. So with 2 batteries we reached this. And the total energy, yeah, this battery pushed 3 amps up until now, 3 amp hours. Okay, this is the current. I have no idea what this is, but generator, we could show. I cannot really talk. Come on, get back. Positive, so generator is charging battery. Negative, battery not charged. So we are charging obviously the battery. Okay, I guess this is absolutely fine. Yay, great. Actually went in here and we can see 37 amps battery current. Okay, that's how much we are putting in it at the moment. We are charging at 36 amps. Whoa, okay ish. Battery temperature and ambience. Battery vendor okay, size 7. So it's adapted. Yep, I guess we are all set. I don't know if there's anything else that we can actually see. Everything seems to be okay, as we can see here. Okay, field current. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like it's wrong. Great. But anyway, ask in the comments how this fares over time, if everything is okay or not, and see you in the next video. Bye.